Hey everybody, my name is Pat. I'm here with Team 1UP'em, and we're doing our second episode of Pop Culture Preservation. I'm here with a new guest, Benny.
Hi, how's
He's
it going?
going to be helping us talk about the Switch, and I'm joined again by Kevin.
I'm Kevin.
He's Kevin.
Yeah.
He's Kevin.
As I just said, we are going to be talking about the Nintendo Switch today. We've got it here in front of us. I've got the console right here. I've got the controller right there. I've got the Pro Controller, as you can see, and then behind us, we have got the, what is this, like store?
The grand old Nintendo Switch kiosk.
The kiosk. Bam.
What is that, green screen?
Yeah, we made, this is fake. This is a CGI.
Amazing.
It's so realistic. So last episode we talked about the Nintendo failings of the past, and now we're going to talk about a good thing that they did, and that is the Nintendo Switch. Why don't we kick off with how well it sold in the first year?
It has sold mind-bogglingly well. It's kicking around over 18 million units. It's been out just over a year and a quarter. I want to say somewhere around March 3rd, 2017 was its original date.
Yes.
Yeah, that's when it came out, and it's been selling like gangbusters. I'm not entirely sure what that means, but it's been doing it.
Just to put into context, the Wii U has already been outsold by the Nintendo Switch. The Nintendo Switch has only been out a year. The Wii U was out for
4.5, 5 years.
4.5 to 5 years. In 1 year, the Switch has already beaten that. Switch is the number one fastest selling Nintendo console,
Nintendo console, absolutely.
which is pretty great. I don't think anyone expected this to happen. I didn't
No.
expect this to happen.
Oh, no.
The Wii U was, it felt like the death knell of Nintendo. Just at the end of their rope, the Wii went so well, and they fumbled the ball at the end zone. But I don't know why I'm doing sports references in a gaming channel.
I was waiting for Disney to buy Nintendo after that. Just put them in the Infinity Gauntlet of all their properties. There's like, we own Nintendo now.
Disney and Mario.
Oh, that would have been great.
That would have been.
I would.
We're better
Pretty
than
stellar.
Illumination. So the big selling point of the Switch, the whole purpose behind its name, is the fact that it is both a console, a standalone home console, and also a portable unit. As you can see, we've got it in the portable mode here, and then this slides right into. Do we have the?
Our doc is. Let's do it.
Wow, how are you doing
We're
that
doing
with
it
the
live.
green screen? This is amazing. This is
I don't know how I'm doing it.
smoke and mirrors, my good friend. Smoke and mirrors. That's what's going on here.
Pulling stuff out from nowhere.
YouTube professionalism. Boom.
What is that? Oh,
Snap, and then like it goes on a TV.
if you could just like put in that sound effect, like.
The little click. Yeah. Well, we didn't, but here we are. So also these little doohickeys on the side, these are called Joy-Cons. There are two of them. They come in like every color, I think.
The
at
colors
this
are
point.
the colors are getting.
And
wide.
I think, and I'm betting they're gonna do that thing where they come out with like specialty. I'm sure there'll be a Smash Brothers Joy-Con.
Just like the Wii remotes. You know, Luigi had one, Donkey had one, Peach. You know.
Oh, yeah, I remember
Toad.
those.
But I mean, that's a long tradition for Nintendo. I mean, we're talking like when you're looking at the N64, you always see in secondhand stores they've got the smoky color, they've got the jungle green, they've got the red, they've got all of these weird different colors for the controllers so that they can make more money.
I'm a little surprised they haven't done the clear plastic that they like to do. Remember when the Game Boy Advance came out and it had that fuchsia pink?
That was
like the start. It was like
Fuchsia
that
was
or
the-
the bluish. And then they did that for the Game Boy. A couple of those came in
Game Boy Advance.
well, everything was that
see-through-
color. That was like the
Maybe that was
iMac
more of a
time.
90s, 2000s thing.
Remember the iMacs, and you're like, there's no way computers are ever gonna get cooler than this. This is the pinnacle right here, and they haven't. Sure enough.
So another thing Nintendo's recently done is they've taken all the games that didn't sell on the Wii U, and they've brought them to the Switch, and they've sold more than they sold on the Switch. Mario Kart Deluxe 8 already blew Mario Kart 8, whatever the original title was, out of the water.
Wii U version, Wii U version. to the Switch
Non-deluxe
version.
They
8.
brought Donkey Kong Tropical Freeze, the longest title with the most fonts ever. They brought Hyrule Warriors. They're bringing both the Bayonettas.
Both Bayonettas.
Or they already did bring both Bayonettas.
Both Bayonettas are.
What else?
Are
I think
Captain
they've mentioned
Toad's
Captain
Wild
Toad.
Ride.
Toad's Wild Ride.
That's definitely the title that it is, without a doubt.
And then technically,
Captain Toad, a bunch of other ones.
one of the launch titles, Breath of the Wild, was originally developed for the Wii U, came out on the Wii U, and then was ported to the Switch.
It's just non-stop
actually the
ports.
last original game for Wii U, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes.
Other than Just Dance that comes out for every platform.
Who's still playing that? Like,
Right there. We
Yeah,
are.
no, I know it's there, but have you ever seen anyone play it? Like, who's knocking around on Just Dance 2018?
I have nieces. I have
So
to
do
play,
they know?
I have to play with them.
Oh.
boy.
Yeah.
Hey-oh.
I still win. Jeez.
No one wins. Sorry, Ubisoft.
Speaking of Ubisoft, another surprise to come out was Mario and Rabbids. I don't think anyone saw that coming.
There's no way that should have existed.
A Mario game where Mario has a gun.
A gun.
And
And it
shoots
doesn't
and
shoot
stuff.
water and clean things.
No, it shoots bullets.
Other than
Bullets
guns,
that explode.
Mario had another developer.
Yeah, that was all Ubisoft, and somehow that was the Italian version of Ubisoft. They were fighting tooth and nail just to get that game actually made. They had to do a pitch with Nintendo just so they had a full demo, and they're like, "Can we make this?" And Nintendo just shrugged and said, "Go for it."
Which is a big shift for Nintendo.
Yes.
Because they don't do that. They like to take things like gimmicks and they hold like the Wii U with its gamepad and the Wii and all its motion nonsense. Just jam it in. It doesn't matter if it fits. Waggle the doodads so that Mario can spin or whatever. And these have, I think, most of the technology that the Wii remote had.
Plus
like,
more.
Plus more. And they're not all the games are not gimmicky nonsense. They're just regular, good, well-designed. Mario Odyssey had like some hat throwing mechanics where you could kind of, flick the Joy-Con. But you didn't have to do it.
Yeah, just well-designed, non-gimmicky things like pretending you have a glass filled with ice.
Oh, the marbles.
The marbles, yes.
1-2 switch.
That's a terrible game. I hate that game.
You heard it here first, folks.
I did not know what it was when I bought it.
In my opinion,
it's not good.
It should have been a game that came.
Oh, absolutely. It
should have came.
It should have. It was like a tech demo with nonsense.
But it definitely showed off the power and the advanced technology of what the Joy-Cons do bring.
Yes, the what is it called? HD Rumble,
The HD Rumble.
which is like a different frequencies that it can vibrate at that feel like the whole gimmick is that you roll it around in your hand and it feels like there are little balls inside the
And
controller.
you can literally count how many in there. And then there's also a camera on it.
There is a camera. It's on the bottom of the left Joy-Con. There's a little IR camera.
Right.
Oh,
No?
my left.
Stage left.
Your
Right. Correct. Right. Left.
The red Joy-Con.
normie. And I think that leads into the Labo. Let's talk about that.
The Labo.
The Labo.
the
We don't have it
Nintendo
here
Labo.
because
I can get a cardboard box and we can cut it up with an
Nintendo,
X-Acto knife if that'll help.
You guys won. You guys have successfully made us spend money on cardboard.
Nintendo's always been known for their gimmicks. They had all the way back at the first one. They had the light gun, your duck hunt gun.
Well, that was based on an old. They started off their video game career doing clay shooting galleries, so they took up like half a block. I know, but they used some of that same technology and boosted it over to the light gun and the zapper. So that was pre-Game and Watch, pre-Nintendo.
Well, so they had that, and then they moved on to I don't remember any of the ones for the SNES.
The guns, or
No, just gimmicks.
The Super,
the Super Scope.
The Super Scope. How could I forget? And then
A
the
bazooka.
N64, the whole controller was
No
designed-
gimmicks there. No.
None. Nothing you could jam in the bottom of it.
No.
Like a rumble pack.
No, just a microphone to talk to.
Oh, yeah, the microphone.
So you got the microphone for Hey You Pikachu doing its best Dreamcast Seaman impression. Then you've got the memory cards that have to go in the controller, not the system. The rumble packs that also go into that slot. And then we've got... Oh boy, you get the. I think we talked about this last week. That disk drive that could fit right underneath the system.
And then like the Game Boy had the Game Boy camera, that massive monstrosity with the twisting camera that put out like I don't even know.
Actually, I forgot about one last accessory for the N64. And that was the thing you put inside of it so that you could play your Pokemon games.
Yes.
Specifically on the N64.
Your cartridge adapter.
Yeah, you could bring them over to Pokemon Stadium.
They have been
Pokemon
trying
Stadium
to
2.
combine just the portable side of things and the home console sort of thing for generations and generations.
And we're finally here.
Yeah.
And they did it. They're still supporting the 3DS, though. God knows why.
And the 2DS.
And the 2DS. That has always been Nintendo's saving grace, even when the Wii U was doing just terrible. The 3DS continues to be the top-selling portable gaming device. And then they evidently took the lessons from that, and they put it into this. And it just works.
Well, I mean, talking about, think about a couple of the other things where they tried to combine portable and home consoles together. You're looking at the N64 where you've got the Game Boy Advance cable. You can do things like play Final Fantasy Crystal Chronicles. That's one of the few ones where it actually worked. And I remember the Secret Island in Harvest Moon.
Oh,
No, sorry, Animal Crossing.
Right.
Yeah.
A lot of different
Did Harvest
titles.
Moon? There was a Harvest Moon game for the N64.
There was.
I don't remember if it had link cable capabilities.
I think it was more GameCube. GameCube had the adapter for your Advance.
The GameCube had that thing you could like sit it on and play the Game Boy Advance games. It would come in like a little picture box on the screen.
And then the Wii U, which we'll all just refer to as the Switch Lite. It's like
If you look at the gamepad of the Wii U, you can see almost like a prototype of the Switch. It's got the similar button layouts.
They took the gamepad. They literally took a saw and they just cut off the sides on it, and they put rails and they attached them to the side.
That they did.
To go outside and play.
Well, you were a diehard Wii U fan.
I'm still a diehard Wii U fan.
I don't know how. It's not a good system.
I mean, what was good about that system? What was bad about it?
What was good about it? I mean,
Other than it got us to the Switch.
I mean, they had the handful of solid titles that I guess Nintendo has their IPs that will always keep them afloat. You know what I mean?
Sure.
Kart, Smash 4 is definitely a solid, complete game, which, to see it come now to a mobile console other than the 3DS, it's going to be amazing.
I'm sure. But at least now more people will play it because even Smash couldn't manage to sell the Wii U.
Yeah.
Although it did come very late in its life cycle, so I'm not entirely surprised that they couldn't pull it out of its death spiral.
Well, speaking of Smash, I mean, there's all kinds of rumors about that thing coming out.
There are. We know the E3 is coming up in a month. Nintendo has been pretty tight-lipped about the second half of 2018. The titles we know are coming are Mario Tennis Aces.
Yes.
We know that there's a Fire Emblem game in development. We don't know anything about it. We know that there is a Yoshi game in development. We've seen some footage and nothing else.
It got buried. It
did.
got buried under all the other games and releases.
They've announced that Metroid Prime 4 is coming. I don't think we're going to see much of Metroid 4.
I hope both the next
at E3.
Yoshi game and the next Metroid game both have them made out of yarn. That's what I'm hoping. Just continue the
crossover,
tradition.
Yeah. I think that's what the Metroid Prime fans want.
And I want the amiibo for the Samus made out of yarn to be 14 and a half feet tall.
You want a first-person yarn shooter.
Because how big was that?
I don't see
that
any
yarn amiibo.
any issues. What else did they? There's a Pokemon Switch game coming. Tons of rumors swirling around that.
Shooter. The newest rumor being the reboot of Yellow.
Yes. This week there were rumors like it was only going to be the original 151. I don't know if that was debunked. I think it was. And then there was another rumor where the names Hey You Pikachu,
and Hey You
Eevee, which sounds Nintendo. Or no, that's not it.
No,
That's
it's Go.
Sorry.
Let's Go. It's Let's
We
Go.
got
Pikachu.
by the
I thought we were
microphone.
just kidding.
Pikachu was a game.
We just talked about it.
It's
Go,
Let's Go Pikachu.
Pikachu,
Let's Go Eevee.
Well, neither of them are released, so I think our guesses are as accurate as anyone else. That's Hey
It's
You
more
Pikachu,
like-
Let's Go Eevee.
It's more like, let's go to the rumor mill.
Yarn. And then all those characters for Smash.
Oh my God! Which were the most recent ones? Spyro and Crash Bandicoot. I saw those bouncing around. Along with was Spyro confirmed for the Switch, or is that also a rumor?
I think it's still not confirmed.
I think it's a rumor.
And then Ridley.
Oh yeah, Ridley, of course. Even though the director of the game has said Ridley is too big. Now there's a rumor that Ridley will be in the game.
For a lot of you people that may not know, Ridley Scott directed some of the most massive blockbusters of our times, and they're going to do an homage to him and put him in Smash Brothers as a playable character, which I think is long overdue, but I mean, other people have different opinions.
100% realistic looking man.
Right next to Mr.
No
Wada.
weapons.
Andy Serkis is doing all the mocap, so that'll be a thing of beauty.
And he'll have all water-based powers, because as
hadn't
anyone
heard
who's
that.
seen a Ridley Scott movie knows, he's terrified of water.
That's true. That's just
I mean,
fact.
just look at The Abyss.
That was the first R-rated movie I ever watched.
Let's not even dive into that.
And he'll be on the Switch, so keep an eye out for that at E3. Well, not at E3, because they never do E3.
No, they do their little
Nintendo Direct.
Treehouse. Is it Treehouse or is it a Direct?
The Treehouse.
No, Treehouse of
happens
Horrors is
after.
The Simpsons, I think. It's,
Right, so there'll be Nintendo will do their little Direct. They've said they're only going to talk about 2018 titles this year, so I'm sure we'll see a lot. They're planning to double the sales of the Switch in this next coming year, which is a pretty lofty goal. So I imagine they've got a lot of surprises coming. I think we mentioned all the games that we know. I heard Animal Crossing. They've been talking about that for a while. They've got the mobile game.
The fan base is just...
it's ravenous.
And of course, it's gonna. Pikmin 4 has just. They've been talking about that for ages. And then whatever. Not Rare. They're gone.
Yeah, Microsoft owns them now.
What is Retro? Retro Studios is working on something. They've been working on it for years. I've heard it's gonna be Star Fox Grand Prix.
Yeah, no, that was another one in the rumor mill. I'm not entirely sure what that means. If you're just doing a bunch of different courses, kind of like the Pilot Wing type stuff, but maybe multiplayer. Who knows? But with all the Star Fox characters, I just know they'll say do a barrel roll at some point.
Oh, I imagine they will, especially after the pretty disastrous Star Fox Zero. Not very well received. Not a lot of games on the Wii U were well received.
I will say this, that one thing we haven't covered. We've covered a lot of, I guess, AAA titles. A lot of big Nintendo IPs. But one thing that I actually love about the Switch is their indie development.
Absolutely.
Indie development is amazing.
Oh, I have I'm going to forget the name. It's some Zelda-inspired game. Blossom Tales. I hope I get that right. But it's something like that. It's a 2D Zelda-style game.
Like a dungeon crawler?
Yeah, well, like you go around and you get items. It's just like a link to the past.
Gotcha.
I think it's called Blossom Tales. It was on Steam, and the company released the game, and it didn't sell well enough, and the company was going to close down, but then they put it on the Switch, and it sold 15 times more on the Switch than it did on Steam, and it saved the company. It was like a big feel-good story.
Well, I know
and they were like, yay!
What was it, Owl Boy?
Owl Boy, yes, they
Yeah.
also just brought that. There's been, what else is coming?
Super Meat Boy sold
Super Meat Boy.
incredibly well. Celeste is just...
Celeste,
Celeste is definitely my top indie game of like this year.
Hollow Knight is also coming soon, I think. Tons of...
Shovel Knight.
the Shovel Knight's already on there.
I know, like the amiibos.
About the streaming they're looking to do. You were telling me earlier about the Resident Evil.
So, as of like this week, Nintendo of Japan on their eShop released that Resident Evil 7 is coming to the Switch via cloud. Yes, via the cloud. A file is going to be happening at about like 48 megabytes. That's going to be on there, and you can play it in console mode.
Is that going to be part of their online service?
It's
Or
actually
just like
it's
a-
coming before the online service.
So it'll just be like you just stream the game?
You can be streaming the game as long as you have a constant internet connection.
Huh. Well, how about that?
So they're taking the cues from the amazingly failed OnLive system, if anyone remembers that. It didn't go well because Americans don't have very good internet.
No, we don't. Oh, let's also mention not just indie developers on the Switch, but just third-party support. Bethesda has had great success. They ported over Skyrim. They ported over Wolfenstein 2, although that hasn't come out yet.
Wolfenstein Colossus.
Colossus, right?
Yeah, and then Wolfenstein 2 is, the new Colossus.
I don't know.
The
One
second one is definitely
some sort of
out.
Nazi punching game is coming, or it did come out.
That was just a remake of Mike Tyson's
and then
Punch
Doom.
Out, where you just punch Nazis.
Doom on a Nintendo console.
Doom was...
How about that?
It's not the first time.
No.
That was on the SNES.
But on
It had
portable.
the red cartridge. Every time you just look through your collection, you're like, normal game, normal game, normal game. That's either Doom or Maximum Carnage. Normal game, black game. That's probably Killer Instinct. Normal game, normal game.
And other developers have been pushing. Third-party developers have been. I'm drawing a blank on whoever develops Dark Souls, but they announced the Dark Souls remastered on the Switch during a Nintendo Mini Direct. I think it was a Mini Direct. That's a pretty big deal. You know, it was all the other consoles. You know, in an age of we want it first.
Yeah.
Nintendo getting that on a Dark Souls game, kind of a surprise. And it had like a little amiibo. Praise the Sun guy.
Sun.
I want that to be in like an automaton.
Smash character,
It's
confirmed.
just, it can actually move. It's doing the like,
Little
there's a
wind up
dance.
in the back.
Yeah.
Wind up amiibo.
Well, they really come around to the whole third party thing. I mean, that's been Nintendo's sort of MO. They've lived and died by the third party.
All right, I think we're getting to the end of our talk here. Anything we want to wrap up about the Switch? We've talked about the hardware a bit. We've talked about what it is and the different arrangements. There's all sorts of
let's
the Joy-Cons,
let's do our
the Joy-Con holder.
Let's bust out our surprise product, which I
Oh,
think
right.
is now a tradition. Do that super
Yes.
quick.
So,
As this show is pop culture preservation, we also talk about just the random stuff.
I bought a nice little gift. This is made by a company that started a Kickstarter, an Indiegogo. One of those, sharing, it's called the Yes Oho. It is actually the first Nintendo Switch projector. So it's made from the complete aspects of the dock with a 200 anti-lumen, which is equivalent to like 2,000 lumen
Completely
projector.
portable.
Completely portable. A 4-hour battery life.
Will not brick your console.
Will not brick your console.
That's a
And
rarity
that is
these
a real
days.
Thank you
concern.
guys. And it also has its own speaker. And you can also plug in any type of HDMI peripheral to it. So it's not just for the Switch. You can use your PlayStation, your SNES Mini, your whatever HDMI source on the go. And I've been using that everywhere.
Fascinating.
Yeah.
So it just like the dock, Switch fits right in.
Switch fits right in.
Comes out the projector on the side here.
And then the back peripherals in the back here. If you
Got a little
What an age we
Yeah.
live in. Look at that. Ports.
future. And I see back here it's got some buttons, I assume for volume.
volume and adjustment of the pitcher.
Cool.
So it's got a motorized thing.
So this is not endorsed by Nintendo though. It's a third
not
party.
endorsed by Nintendo. It's made by a third party.
So yeah, if you have your grandkids ask you when was the first time you saw this, tell them now.
Right now.
Right now.
Right now.
All right. So this is the Switch. Nintendo, they're killing it. I'm sure they'll find a way to screw it up, and then they'll come back again, because that's what Nintendo does. It's
can't-
just out of left field. I'm sure. I mean, 3 months ago they put out a cardboard peripheral.
They can't
Who
lose.
knows what'll come next?
Next one's made out of Jello.
Let's do it. So this has been an episode of Pop Culture Preservation. I'm here with Team One Up 'em. Follow them on Instagram and social media and all that junk. I've been Pat. Give us a like or a subscribe or whatever. I don't know, the YouTube stuff. Hit that bell icon so that we'll come to your house and give you candy. I don't know what it does.
I'm Kevin.
He's Kevin. I'm Pat.
I'm Benny.
That's been Benny. Thank you guys so much for watching. Somebody turn off the stream. Please.